Kimia Zabihyan, would you like to address the Chamber?
Good evening, councillors, and the CEO and legal department and all who are gathered here who perhaps find it difficult to really know and understand what's going on Lancaster West Estate. I am the advocate for Grenfell next of kin, that is the immediate families of 41 of the 72 people who died that you commemorate at every meeting. What is going on Lancaster Estate has not changed. I mean, as you said, Councillor Simmons, the word of culture change is constantly bandied about. But actually, what we have on the estate at the epicenter of this disaster, because the tower stood in the middle of the estate, is essentially repetition of the same culture and relationship between this council and its residents. Why do I say that? In the inquiry report phase 2, the chairman noted, it was a huge volume actually, about the relationship between the council, the officers, the TMO and the residents. The same pattern of behaviour is being repeated again today. There is more consultation, but it's all very, very controlled. And when people are speaking out and challenging what's happening, they are again being targeted either as difficult people, difficult voices, rebel residents. There is a real fear amongst residents to actually speak up. They feel that their tenancies might be targeted. There have been some incidents of certain people who have spoken up and challenged the way that the estate is being managed. And much like the TMO did, the W11 management on the estate is doing the same things again. People feel afraid to speak up. When they do, they become known as the problem, and then they are targeted. But is there really a problem, I think, is the thing that we should look at, and all the councillors here, not because it might not be your ward, but you are taxpayers. And the Grenfell tragedy has really, really been a massive gravy train. I've just left a meeting with the Metropolitan Police, £86.2 million. And they've now asked for another £100 million. £172 million public inquiry. This council is suing the other defendants for £360 million. So you have people who were killed, you have people who are their families, you have people who were displaced, and you have people who are still there, these residents. And why this council cannot give them any agency is just beyond me. The problem is that this estate refurbishment, which was promised back in 2017, has cost over £100 million already and is now asking the government for another £96 million. And the goalposts keep shifting because a few months ago they said they were £85 million short. Now they're saying they're £96 million short and they're asking for that money. Nothing would please the residents more than having these works done efficiently and so they can get on with their lives. But there is no scrutiny of the management decisions that are being made, how it's being managed, and how it's being delivered. And that's the problem. And you need to have neutral mediation because the council was left in charge of the disaster. There was no separation between the council, that's the main defendant in this tragedy, and the victims. And because that decision wasn't made, which was a political decision, because it would have looked awfully bad if Theresa May had asked for commissioners to come in to oversee North Kensington in the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea, you essentially victimise the victims more. You yourselves should do the honourable thing and ask for, if you don't want to call in commissioners because it looks bad, bring in some proper grown-up management, neutral mediators that's acceptable to both parties, and mediate the problems that are on the estate. The walkways absolutely should have the right of their own agency and their own representation because Lancaster West is a huge estate and they are adding more and more buildings to it. They are now adding other buildings on the outer parts of the estate to be part of the Lancaster West estate. And what it's doing is making people very fearful that this is actually preparing...
Ms. Zabihyan, so we've reached 5 minutes. Please, could you sum up? Thank you very much.
That this is actually preparing the ground for some terrible Armageddon where you would only have to go and get sign-off from a couple of people to be able to do anything you want to that large estate. Don't go down this road. Do the honourable thing, bring in mediation and allow people to have agency. They live there.
Thank you very much.